This is the Newsload.
Hello, my name is Carrie Anne Stephenson and I'm with Newsload and I'm here with Simon B. Cotter. Hello, Simon. How are you today?
Very well. And yourself? You look like you're in the tropics.
I wish I was. I'm in London, Ontario, Canada. Where are you?
I'm in Toronto, but I just got back from Tahiti, so I'm doing all right.
Oh yeah. It looks like you're sunburnt.
Yeah, I'm a little. I tan well. I have a
It's
good.
hard knock life.
It's my wife works a real job, and I work 90 minutes a week, so I don't get a lot of sympathy at home for.
So, are you like the house dad?
Yeah, I tend to be. I mean, I get to, when my kids were small, I got to coach them at stuff and do everything because I don't have a real job. I'm not working very much. So it was lots of fun, doing all that. But then again, then you do a 3-week tour in Europe and you're gone, you miss everything. So it's feast or famine. So
It really is.
overall, I got more hours with my kids than most dads ever do. So I'm fortunate. But then there were the occasional birthdays I had to miss or something because I was in London or.
But at least you're not like a fisherman.
No, exactly. I don't put my life at risk, although I have done a few shows where I wish I was dead.
Okay, so this is a fascinating topic that I'm so glad that you naturally brought up, which is dying on stage, just sucking so bad, and the air is sucked out of the room, and you can hear a pin drop and actual crickets, and you want to go.
Yeah, no, it can be hell. I had early in my career, I had one of the most successful college tours in Canadian history. I was playing 100,000 students a year, 130 campuses, coast to coast. Joe Louis sponsored it and Pizza, and it was just great fun. But because some of the student bodies would pay for shows, like particularly community colleges, they'd pay for shows and they wouldn't be at night, they'd be in the day in the cafeteria. Literally half the people there aren't there for a show, that they just want to eat their lunch. So you've got... I'm there, and people are walking by me and ordering French fries and warming their soup up, and it's just absolute nightmare of like, hi, and some people would watch the show and laugh and stuff, but literally you could have one table watching you and enjoying it, and one table playing dominoes like right in front of you. It's
or magic or some 80s game,
it was just that was horrible. And then I have had a few where I've feared for my life. Like once in 1990, I was doing a show in Medicine Hat, and the biggest sort of spot in Medicine Hat was a strip bar that put on a comedy show. Only the British Army was training for the Gulf War, and they were given a 48-hour leave. So they all went to the strip bar looking for strippers. And before the strippers come on, there's a comedy show. So I'm the only thing standing between 600 guys that are trained to kill and a good time. It was not a very fun show.
Probably sexually frustrated with boners and aggression.
Oh, yeah. And literally every one of them can kick the crap out of the bouncers, and there's 600 of them. So I have no backup. I have nothing. I'm just like, just could not get through a joke. It was just heckle fest. And so there are horrible.
Did you have any that went through? Did they cheer or be like,
oh, no. It was, well, what happened is they'd heckle. I'd rip the crap out of whoever heckled. They'd all laugh because they know the guy. And then I'd try to do another joke. And then so literally 90 minutes of just insulting people who at any moment could come up and snap my neck like a twig.
You were a ballsy Don Rickles at the time.
It was more that was all they were laughing at. So I gave them what they wanted, but it was definitely the most terrified I've ever been at a show,
So are you a little bit clairvoyant? Do you have sort of a reading the room ability? Can you see what works, what doesn't? Or do you just, they laugh, trigger?
My wife would argue I never read the room properly, but Professionally, yeah, you start to realize through trial and error what works and what energy works. I've been doing some work on cruise ships, and I'll literally go in and scout the audience and see, okay, what's the mean age? Is it mostly women? Is it mostly men? Are they mostly American or Australian or British or European? And so I'll tailor my material before I'm even on stage. I'll think, okay, this will work, and my wedding stuff will work. Am I having kids and grandkids, and that'll work. And this is a traveling crowd, so my travel things will work, and this will work. But my college material obviously wouldn't be appropriate, and my obviously with that age group, you stay away from all politics and religion and stuff like that won't work. And anything with too much sexual innuendo, you're going to pull out. And so you just sort of, you apply knowing the crowd you're playing. Like next week, I'm doing my first public show in Canada in 4 years. I'm working the Yuck Yucks in Ottawa. And my friend, I used to, when my daughter played for McGill, I would go and play the Yuck Yucks Ottawa anytime McGill was playing in against a University of Ottawa or Carleton. I would book myself in and perform. So I perform there regularly. I haven't done it in 4 years because she stopped playing. And he called me up and said, hey, would you want to do it? And I thought, I have not done a public show in, 4 years, 2019. So I said, yeah, sure. So it's really exciting. So I'm going to get to go in and actually pick, when people come to see your show, you can pick whatever material you want. And when I'm doing corporations or doing theaters or casinos, I have to tailor it to the crowd that's coming. But this is, and cruise ships, of course, you tailor it to them. But this is one where it's like people are just paying money to come in to laugh. So all I have to do is make them laugh. I can do whatever the heck I want. So I'm very kind of excited for next week because it'll be fun. It's also, I haven't played a small room in a long time because I've been playing, 600, 800, 1,200 seaters. So
starving. Yeah.
Well, no, it's different timing. It's just like, 1,200 people make a lot more noise than 200 people.
No,
so you have to be much more fast.
You got to wait for the roar of the crowd. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it really is. It's hard to, but I'm so lovable. I deserve so much love. There's a lot of me. I need to bring it all in.
Oh, it sounds like you're having a tough time.
You sound like my wife. I don't get a lot of sympathy from her either. I don't get a lot of. As I was in Tahiti last week, she was not all enjoying shoveling the driveway for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why.
The Canadian joy of things. No, I'm lucky. I rent, so I don't have to shovel because somebody else does it for me. Oh, you go. Oh, there's not enough salt on. I'm unfortunately. I think I've become a Karen. I'm embarrassed. But at least my walkway is salted when it's snowy. Anyway, so how many hours of material do you actually have? Because you were describing like, oh guys, I got the marriage bed. Like I missed half of it. I'm so sorry because
well, I've got about 3 hours. I've got about 3 hours of material, but it's not all. Well, probably a little more than 3 hours of material, but it's not. Like for instance, I wrote a bunch of jokes when I was in Sweden about the Vasa Museum and about the walking around the streets and some of the exhibits and stuff. Now it kills in Sweden. It kills because all the kids, every single school kid has to go to the Vasa Museum and see it. So doing jokes about that, they go nuts because they hadn't seen it. When I took those jokes out and I tried to do them in Norway and stuff like that, they don't get it because they didn't have that same experience. They get some of the Swedish jokes, like the IKEA jokes, because they have IKEA. They got,
it's
so some of the material I wrote,
adapting and surviving. So do you get the information, like the ticket holders, their name, their age, all the information from the cruise ship before you go on?
Oh, the cruise ship. What I do is when I get on, I'll go right to the entertainment director and I'll say, give me a breakdown. And they go by everybody's passport. So I know I have 800 people on the boat from Australia, 200 from New Zealand, 50 people from Singapore, 18 people from New Guinea, 400 Canadians, 1,800 Americans. You know, I have the whole thing. So of the 4,000 people on the ship, I have a pretty good breakdown of what. So I go, well, 1,800 are the largest amount of Americans. So I'll start with some stuff that'll be for them. I'll throw something in for the British. Here's something for the Canadians. Here's something. And then there's stuff.
Wait. Tell me the Canadian joke, please.
There's a whole tons of material on Canada. But
What's your favorite Canadian joke, please, Simon? I beg.
Well, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's one of the ones I enjoy doing. It's I talk about well, I have a whole thing on Banff, which is funny, but then I talk about the prairies going. I like to be able to. The prairies in the winter have two things going for it: really, really cold and really, really flat. I like to be able that's so cold I'm freezing my butt off, but I can see where the weather's nice. You know.
Yeah. All the way over there, it's there.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah. So stuff like that, but the Canadian stuff I'll make fun of, you know, like I'll do a Justin Trudeau joke, or I'll do an Ottawa joke, or I'll do you know, how
what's your Justin Trudeau joke?
Oh, and I'm not doing my whole act here.
All right. I admit.
They're long bits.
Are there any series or YouTube acts or anything you'd like us to keep an eye out for?
Well, I'm on YouTube. I've done 40 shows worldwide, so I've got like lots of different clips on YouTube from those, and you know, I've done, you know, Just for Laughs 6 times, and
which I've enjoyed. You're amazing.
Oh, thanks. It's a fun job. It really is probably the most amazing job in the world. I really do have fun doing it, and you know, I've performed in 120 countries. You know, I've gotten to see the world, which is terrific, and I've gotten to see my kids grow up, which is terrific. So it's a pretty great life. You know.
Yeah. Do you have any siblings? I'm getting.
I do. I'm the youngest of 8. I'm the youngest of 8 kids.
Oh my God! No wonder you're a talker.
Yeah, exactly. I've had to learn pretty early on how to get attention. I wasn't going to be the tough one. I wasn't going to be the smart one. I certainly wasn't going to be the pretty one. So I had to learn to be the funny one.
That's amazing. I love that story of yours.
And my dad's a minister. So my dad, I would watch my dad, how he would hold the audience, and, you know, when he was doing his sermons and stuff. And so I learned from that. In fact, that's where I got my name. I was named after 2 churches. My name's Simon Bartholomew. I was named after 2 churches my dad worked at, St. Simon's and St. Bartholomew's.
Oh.
If I'd been born a year later, I would have been the Blessed Virgin. So I just missed it. Actually, that's what they called me in college, but that's another story. But anyway.
Oh boy, college was fun for you. Where did you go to college?
I went to University of Toronto. I'm very smart. I don't look it, but I really actually am.
Yeah, actually, I think I read in your bio that you studied history.
History, yeah.
So what's your favorite historical fact that you'd like to share with us?
Geez, I love World War II stuff. So one of the you know, anything about
Canadian World War II history.
Oh yeah. Well, tons of stuff about Dieppe and about. I actually got to go to the beaches at D-Day, and one of the things that the Canadians got the Juno Beach, and Canadians were the only army that actually made it to all their objectives on D-Day. But one of the things when you see it, you go, how is that possible? Because it's this big open beach and there's no cover, and they ran into machine guns. But it turns out the Germans were so convinced that no idiot would land on that beach, because if only an idiot would accept that assignment. They didn't think anybody would ever land there. So the Canadians got the worst beach, but it ended up being the best for us. We got this beach that only the German general Rommel, who was in charge of it, just said no soldier would ever land his troops there because it would be a massacre. So we didn't have very many.
And for us audience members that aren't watching, Dieppe is literally straight down beach kind of thing. And on a Bell Canadian commercial, there's this hiker kid that's about to go to college, and he's in Dieppe, and we can make long distance calls now in the 90s. And hey, Grandpa, I'm in Dieppe, and it's horrific suicidal beach.
Yeah, well, that was Dieppe was very rocky as well, and so the tanks that they sent couldn't come in. But Dieppe, it was different than D-Day. I'm talking about Juno Beach when I'm talking
Oh,
about
right. Sorry.
Dieppe is a whole other story. I'm boring. I'm a comedian. I'm boring the crap out of your things right now with.
No. History is fascinating. Okay, let's talk about something interesting. I am big on men's health, and I have to ask you a very personal question.
9 inches.
Simon,
That's that's how far I am from the monitor. What were you thinking?
for men's health,
Right.
what kind of underwear do you wear?
I wear the jockey athletic briefs, the ones that are like they're cotton, but they sort of hug the thigh.
They're boxer briefs.
Yeah, they're kind of boxer briefs, but they're tight along the thigh because I like to work out, believe it or not. So it just I can't
Yeah.
can't work out. I can't work out in anything that's going to ride up.
What's your favorite gym cruise ship situation?
Oh, cruise ships are pretty good. They've got some really good equipment now. So I like to do elliptical, and I'll go on running the treadmill, and then I sometimes do the rowing machine, but I'm doing less of that because I'm just not as strong as I used to be. As I'm 60 now. Don't have the same power I once had.
I hear ya. But I'm sure watching your older siblings all, like you're still the mighty one, yeah?
Yeah, well, comparatively, my dad's still kicking around. He's 98 years old, so yeah. So,
What's
yeah,
his background? What
he's Jamaican. Jamaican, came up to Canada to go to school, met my mom. Never really went back. It just was he's 98-year-old little Jamaican guy who just hobbled around. Still got the same glasses he's had since he was 14. No hearing aid, all his own teeth. He's like a little hobbit. It's amazing.
Does he have second breakfasts?
Oh, yes, he does. He actually does. He has a little breakfast when he gets up, and then he has second breakfast at about 9:30, 10 in the morning. That's exactly his first lunch and second lunch. No, he's literally lives like a hobbit. It's
Are
terrific.
his toes hairy?
Not particularly, but I think the soles of his feet probably could use some work. Yeah, he's a cute little guy. If you go on my Facebook, you'll see pictures of him. Man, he's amazing.
Well, you're a pretty cute little guy yourself. So, like,
Well, I would have never been called little before, even when I was young. I was never little.
are
But
you
thank you, God
tall?
bless. No, I'm 5'10", 5'11". I used to be 5'11". I've already started shrinking. But you carry a pumpkin like this around and see if you can maintain your height. It's not easy. My boys are tall. I've got 3 kids. My daughter's 5'8", but my boys are 6'4" and 6'1". So they're it's hard to tell them to go to bed because they can pound the crap out of me. So I have to be careful.
They're grown-ups now. Like you coach them in their sports.
Yeah.
So you were a
Yeah.
little bossy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was. They were afraid of me when I could look down on them, but now now that the angle has changed, I don't think I stand a chance.
Well, do you come to London, Ontario often?
I haven't. I was there. I played the theater there. Oh my God, it's got to be 10 years ago now. And then I did a thing for a national tour with Asante, the wealth management group. So that was the last time I was in town a couple of years back doing that. I do love London though. It's really great. And I used to play Western University every year.
Oh yeah, Western's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, Western's fun. And Fanshawe College I used to do frequently as well.
Fanshawe is also fun. Yeah.
Again, it's a great town. It really is. It's just an amazing. You've picked a good place to settle in.
Oh, keep talking.
No, but seriously, because it's got everything you need. It's got good hospitals, good entertainment, everything like that. But it's not crazy Toronto big, where it takes you. I live in High Park, which is very close to downtown, but it can take me a half hour or more to get downtown because the traffic is just so nuts.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I live by a mall, so I have Starbucks and I have, A&W
Oh
and,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's good.
I'm a happy, wannabe young lady.
That's how I actually coordinate how I travel. I put it going, well, it's near Swiss Chalet, it's near a Baskin and Robbins, it's near something like I food orient myself as to where I am in the world
Do you treat yourself with food?
all the time, which is that drives my wife insane. But
What's your
that's
treat?
how I love ice cream. I love sweets. I love, Nanaimo bars, cherry danishes. I know every bakery there is. Like I find even I'm going to Portugal next month, and Portuguese are got these great little bakeries in places like Lisbon, and I just walk the streets and go, I'll hit one on every block. Like it's unbelievable.
Oh, yes, I hear that Portuguese pastries are delicious.
Yeah,
Well, do you have any favorite restaurants, or besides the colleges, any spots in London that we should give a
oh,
shout out to?
in London, Ontario. Well,
Yeah.
you still have a Yuck Yucks there, I believe, right?
Not right now, no.
Oh darn! That's because I played it many years ago, but I haven't been. I literally, unfortunately, I don't do a lot of club work anymore, as I mentioned, and I would like to get back to it because it's so fun. It's so intimate, and it's a different timing. It's a different pacing. Although I will say, with the theaters, you can do more stories, which are longer and little. The audience will give you a little more time than they would do in a comedy club where they're expecting, punchline payoff right away.
Well, maybe when you're in Ottawa, you can come on by and I can take you to a bar or something and you can try.
Now, I would love it. I would love it. Is there, you guys don't have any full-time comedy clubs in London now?
Not right now. We have a little restaurant, a 40-seater, and we have a local theater that we're 150-seater.
Oh,
That
that sounds nice. What's that called?
It's called the Grand Theater.
Oh,
It's
the Grand. I've played the Grand. Yeah.
You like the Grand? Are you shouting out to the Grand
Yeah, the
Theater?
Grand Theater is great. No, that's when I was doing the stuff for Asante. That's where I performed was a Grand
Yeah,
Theater.
yeah, we're putting on a few shows there right now and such. And so if you're in town and you
I
want,
would love that. I would love it. If you
well,
set it
I
up,
would
I will
be
do.
honored. I would be absolutely thrilled to be able to possibly share a mic with you.
Yes, that would be great. We'll set it up. I will come in a heartbeat. I love London. I haven't been there in a few years, so it'd be fun. And I love that theater. The acoustics are amazing. You don't really need a mic.
Yeah, yeah, that's the exciting thing about it is it's actually, pretty good, run, operated, organized, designed
Yeah.
theater. The sound guy is a whiz, and
Yeah.
like you pay for a good space. But
Yeah, no, it's terrific. Sometimes those sort of smaller theaters, 300 or 400 seaters are better than the big theaters. Like I did a national tour a few years ago. Me and a buddy, Scott Harris, we did a national tour from one end of the country to the other called Baby Boomers, and we were in a lot of the Mississauga Living Arts and Oakville theaters and these 800,000, 1,200 seat theaters. But when we came out, some of our best shows were in Chatham and in Sarnia and stuff where they were like 300 seat theaters with instead of 12 union guys doing lights and stuff like that. It had one guy that did set up the lights and did the sound, and they were the best run and the best thing, and they were packed out. And we did places like Sterling, Ontario, and they would be packed, and the sound would be terrific, and the Grand, and they were just amazing theaters. So you're very lucky to have
oh,
a theater like that.
well, it's an honor to hear that from you, who is traveling the world and talking about Swedish museum jokes and Portuguese pastries, to be able to have our little corner as a positive place to visit. And we're putting on a show next month, March 18th on a Saturday night. We're streaming live, so maybe you could pop on and say hello if you're near the Wi-Fi
I will
situation.
be in Spain on the 18th of March.
Of course you will. You're busy.
but I literally drop me a line if you're doing a show. If I'm available, I would love to come out.
If you're in the area.
In the area. If I'm in the country, let's put it that
Yes.
way. be terrific. I
All
really.
right, Simon. Well, I know you're busy, and I can't thank you enough for the interview. And I hope you have an amazing day, and your giant children behave themselves today.
That would be a first. That would be terrific if that would ever happen. But
Well, I wish you all of that.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on.
And thank you for entertaining us and all the work. How long is
And
it?
thank you for your great earrings. We're just let's just keep this going, thanking each other back and forth.
Yeah, they're doilies. They're cute.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, how long have you been doing comedy?
My first show was September 23rd, 1988. So that would be 35 years, almost 35 years of September.
Well, it's an honor to have, a Canadian so talented around the world. So thank you for representing.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to represent Canada. It's a great country. I'm lucky to be part of it.
And we're happy to appreciate you. So have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much.
This is the Newsload.